Alright, so today we're going to be replacing the oil filter housing in my B8 S.5. So let's get going. Now, first thing first, my whole work area is a freaking mess, man. I haven't been in the garage in a minute. People borrowing my stuff. And this is what happens. So let me clean this up real quick, Alright, we got everything cleaned up. Tools organized in the chest. But anyways, let's get started with showing you guys how to replace the oil filter housing on your B8 8.5 Audi S5. So, yep, let's get it going. All right, so here's the S5, and first thing first is we're gonna locate the oil filter housing. It's not too hard to miss, it's right behind the supercharger. And before we get on to actually removing the filter housing, we're gonna first drain all the oil out. So I'm gonna crack the filter housing loose right here. And then we're gonna pull out the filter, and then we're gonna get underneath, jack up this car real quick. And then just unbolt the skid plate, remove him, or unscrew is the proper way to say it. And here you can see all the oil that's been leaking here. Now I've been losing about a quart a week of oil, and kind of hurts my soul because I use some, high quality oil, and it just went down the drain, literally. But it's all good. Today we're gonna be fixing that. Alright, I used a T45 to remove the oil drain plug. I just cracked it loose here with my wrench and just unscrewed it by hand. Let the oil drain until it's not dripping anymore. And then I'm going to wipe it and then put the screw back on by hand and tighten the drain plug. Now, I don't do too crazy. As you can see, it probably looks intense, but I did it by a pretty good amount. Don't want to over tighten it. And then basically just put the skid plate back on. Alright, and then making our way up to the oil filter housing. I actually don't know where the footage went of me taking off some of these brackets. So I'm just going to have a little freeze frame here for you guys, showing you which bracket I took off to get behind the filter housing. Now, this one right here I show you, there's 3 bolts that hold it down, all going to be T30s. And to make it easier for me, I also removed the throttle body, but you don't have to. Also going to be T30s. Alright, and to get to the oil filter housing, I used a triple square on 8mm to get behind on like a small little wrench with an extension to get all the 3 bolts behind the actual filter housing, as well as a 10mm on it to break it loose. Don't make the same mistake that I made here. Make sure to remove this hose before pulling the oil filter housing out, or you will break it like I did. So I had to get it replaced. But once the hose is out of your way, you can unplug the sensor from below and then just pull the oil filter right out and put it on the new one, and just kind of put it back in the same way you took it out. And you can screw everything right back in and hook up all your wires. Should be all good to go. Alright, and pretty much once you get everything assembled back together, you can put in your oil. So I put in about 6.5 quarts of 5W30 in this bad boy. Got some M's oil, pour that in, and then you want to start up your car and check for any leaks. And then once your car finally fully warms up, give it a little test drive. Make sure everything's working properly, nothing too crazy. And then, head back home, double check. And if there's no more leaks, then you did it good and you're all set to go.